Excited to be here with Dinen Subramaniam. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
You're with PTX, and you guys have made a lot of noise and talked a lot about autonomy. And this brings amazing feature sets to farmers. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are doing there?
Yeah, so what we do is we retrofit, or we take an existing tractor and add on an autonomy kit that lets it do autonomous tasks. So we're starting with the grain cart operation, where a combine operator can use a grain cart without a driver. And we're also doing tillage as well, where you can do an entire field and till that land without a driver.
And I got to experience it firsthand out in the demo field.
Sure. How was that?
Progress. It was really fun. And it really made me think this could be really powerful. So what was that aha moment for you where you realized, man, this could really be a game changer for farmers?
Yeah, you know what, there are two sides of that. So one is the conversation I've been having with farmers. And what I've learned is in the Midwest, United States, and even across the country, certainly around the globe as well, farmers are really struggling to have a profitable operation because they just can't find the labor so that they can do what they need to do when they want to do it. So they typically struggle both in tillage and grain cart, where one or two people are doing multiple tasks. They're walking quarter mile to go get a truck, to go pick up the grain cart. They're compromising the overall benefit that they could get to their farm simply by extending that harvest period because they don't have that extra person to help them out.
So adding the autonomy essentially can double, triple the amount of what they can do because they don't have to have someone in the cart driving around.
That's right. So it really gives farmers the flexibility to decide what they want to do. At some point, it might be the best to have an operator in one of those pieces of equipment, but OutRun gives them the flexibility to choose when they do that. What we've heard is that skilled operators are really hard to find, and what you want to do is be able to assign them to the tasks that only they can do. OutRun gives you that flexibility.
There's some really high tech behind this, the AI and the computer vision systems that powers this.
That's right.
With all that, how do you make sure that farmers who aren't computer scientists can use this? How do you make it approachable?
Sure. You know what, so one of the things that we do is use one of the platforms that almost every farmer has, which is a touch-based phone or tablet. So that's really what it is. And a farmer is able to use very simply that touch interface to command OutRun to do what they want to do. And the feedback we've been getting from almost all the farmers we've talked to is easy to use, and they get up to speed in about 10 to 15 minutes.
And I was in the cab watching it in operation, and the operator's just, like you said, just touching the tab, making sure that the car is following is really interesting.
Sure.
Very cool to watch.
Yeah.
You guys have tested OutRun in the U.S. and Australia. You've done thousands of runs at this point.
That's right.
What have you learned?
It's a difficult technology. Okay, so it's going to take some time for us to get it to that perfect state. But even now, it's at a place where it can be useful to most operations. We've seen it from all operations from 750 acres on up to 5,000, 10,000 acres. Certainly, it helps both the smaller operations to work and continue operation when they don't have people. And those larger operations where they do have the skilled labor, that gives them the flexibility to do that. And so in terms of all the tests we've done, we realized, first of all, it's a hard problem, but we're going to get there, and just slow steps and using farmer feedback to make sure it's intuitive, easy to use, and solves their problems.
OutRun is retrofit first.
It is.
Why is that important?
Well, you know what, there are lots of tractors. In fact, just on my way here, I was talking to a farmer that has an older Case International tractor. I think it's a 2012. If he wanted to enable autonomy on his operation and get the benefits of that, the retrofit or add-on approach allows that farmer to work with his existing tractor. Therefore, they don't have to spend that extra capital to buy a new tractor to get the benefits of autonomy. So we believe that approach, and the fact that it works with mixed fleet operations, so these might be operations that have Deere tractors, Fendt tractors, CNH tractors. It allows all of them to come together and work with this one platform.
Farmers are facing more challenges than ever, labor challenges, all these other challenges. How will autonomy play a role in helping them do their job with all these things that they face?
Sure. So I'll give you two examples. Okay, when we talk about autonomous grain cart operation, we're really talking about making your harvest more efficient. We know that 33% of acres in the Midwest are harvested late, causing a 10% reduction in yield on those acres. So if a farm operation can do that faster, preserve more yield, that can be the difference between being, below the line to being above the black and kind of getting a more profitable year. So that's one with harvest operations. With tillage, oftentimes it's a struggle to keep the tillage operation ahead of a high-speed planter. And what that means is you might miss that planting window and not get the optimum planting done in time. OutRun, with its autonomous tillage capability, means that you could potentially till overnight and be ready to plant a field without having to wait for that tillage operation to complete.
That's fascinating. With all this high tech, potential of autonomy coming to farms for more and more farmers,
Sure.
you still are, with AGCO more broadly, putting farmers at the center of everything.
That's right.
And making them farmer first.
That's
Talk
right.
about that.
Yeah, this goes back to what I mentioned earlier. A lot of what I've done in the last 2 years is just ask farmers what their operation is like and try and understand those pain points and how we can help them. So, and then of course, taking that feedback back, improving the product to fit their operations better. Just as an example, I was talking to a farmer that gave a great suggestion in using, so in the autonomous tillage operation, we want to make sure that the tillage operation is done well. So in a conversation with this farmer, he had some fantastic ideas on how we could monitor the tillage implement and make sure that they're doing a great job on the tillage side of things, or that we're doing a great job on the tillage side of things for him. And so that conversation of really asking about their operations, genuinely receiving that feedback and putting it into our products is that cycle of really making farmer-first products.
Conversation with the farmer, made a suggestion, made that ultimately into real-world, tangible feature sets that they
That's right.
embrace. I bet he loved that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
because
Yeah.
no, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, it's really about meeting them where they are and meeting them where their operation is at, whether that's through mixed fleet, i.e. meeting them, working with the tractors they have, or the retrofit approach.
That's great. Dinen, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much.
All right.